Most people think that childhood trauma is about the deepest things, but sometimes it's about the simplest things like peace, creating a safe space, or simply in how we communicate. This is DURA'S Voice podcast, and on this episode, we are looking at childhood trauma. And I'm not doing this alone, I'm doing this with two amazing and beautiful ladies. On my left is Ambassador Florence, looking amazing, and on my right is Tammy. Forget, they want to threaten me with their glasses, but it won't do anything. So let's get right into it. So, what exactly is childhood trauma? Because it's an open question, because most people do not really understand what it is. When you say childhood trauma, it's like a very big thing, which it is small, but let's just understand the basics. What is childhood trauma?
Okay, I'll go first. Okay. For me, childhood trauma. Okay, let me just pick out the word trauma itself. It isn't just about something physical or maybe an experience that happens to someone or something. It goes way beyond that. It can actually be something you needed that you actually did not get. Simple things like feeling loved, wanting to have something, or maybe a child that needed love or some words of advice or encouragement and did not get it at that particular time. It's okay. For instance, a child can come from a very rich and wealthy background where his or her parents has houses, money, anything he or she wants, the child can be able to get it. But that's love or yes is not there. And that's why growing up, most persons realize that most persons they turn out to become something else aside from turn out to become something else they never imagined or they never wanted for themselves. You see people or you see adults that become people pleasers. You see adults that they always look for validations. They always look for validations. They always want to feel among, or maybe sometimes you might see people that always neglect themselves or they always isolate themselves from people or from crowds or something. So most of these things they come from or they actually started from when that person was small or way too younger, and then most of these things are being denied by their parents or people they lived with without that particular person knowing or being aware of these things.
Wow, that's really deep, Tammy.
What I would say is that childhood trauma, it's more of the negative experiences that a person has faced. Could be mentally, physically, emotionally, and like all aspects of a person's or a child's growth. And that has now evolved over a couple of years in that person, and it now defines what that person turns out to be, except that person actually makes a conscious decision to actually want to change or not let that trauma sit so deep in the person. Everything that Bibiri said is actually in line with what trauma actually does to a person.
So let me use your words. You said it would make them have certain behaviors
Yes.
as adults. So speaking of behaviors, what are some of these adult behaviors that are rooted in childhood traumas?
Okay, just like I mentioned earlier, most of the behaviors are people pleasing, feeling down emotionally, isolation, always seeking for validation. Most persons, in as much as validation seeking or seeking for validation is rooted from childhood trauma, but not all of them. Yes. But mostly, let me say out of 100%, I can prove it to you that 80 to 85% are seeking for validation because they always get from their parents or guardians that, oh, you are not enough, you are not good. Maybe if a child does something wrong, that you actually should calm down and correct the child and tell the child, oh, Junior, you hitting your senior or someone older than you is wrong, or you saying harsh words to your friend or your fellow child is wrong, and then you'll be like, you don't have sense, you are very stupid,
Yeah.
you no get sense, you no book. Or maybe if a child comes back from school and then has a low grade, yes, you'll be like, you don't know anything, you just be like your papa, you just be like your mama, you no get sense, you be fool, you be this, you understand? That child would actually grow up having that mindset, having that mentality, and then sometimes it will make the child not being able to express his or herself. Yes, the child cannot be able to. The child will be scared, having fear of this, fear of that, and then 100% of the time that child is prone to not making it in life. You understand? That child is prone to not making it in life, and then that child would be that child will just start isolating himself from every other person. Maybe where you see people full, and then the child will be seated somewhere, not wanting to relate, not wanting to express himself fully. So that's it.
Wow. So speaking of parents, is that something related to parents being unintentional when they pass these traumas to their
Yeah.
children? I can relate to that because sometimes I won't blame them. You understand? Sometimes I won't blame them. Sometimes it's not their fault because they just do these things subconsciously and we take it. For someone like my family now, my dad grew up with the a very resilient spirit, like always wanting to. Even my mom, they grew up with. So there was no time for let me come and start petting you. So even when you're sick, you will go let group, you go receive group, then we go flog you. Even when you get sick, so there was no form of somebody coming to come and carry you. They would of course fetch you when you're not feeling fine, but you have to be
You have to
strong.
be strong for
So
yourself.
we grew up with that independence mindset. You can't depend on somebody. So I can say now, because I've gone past that whole thing, so I can say now that I've now known that okay, that's something that was unintentionally passed to us now. So I grew up in a very independent family. That was a form of love. But now to me, that was like it's not something that affected me for some years because I wouldn't know how to like receive help. If people wanted to help me, I would feel like they would want something in return.
In return,
No, don't help me. If you send me money and I don't know, I'll send you your money back on. So even my elder brother, when he wants to send me money now, he doesn't tell me because sometimes I'll not start telling him, borrow me. He'll now be like, no, you are not telling me to borrow. Ask. But I found it very difficult to ask because that space wasn't like created. Though my dad will tell you, ask me for anything, but somehow, to me personally, I was not able to be open.
That free.
Yes, to be that free to ask for things given the entire circumstances and everything. So I think it was passed subtly inside my head to always want to do things on your own. So I think if I didn't work on it, even when okay, let me say I get married now, it's also going to affect because when your husband gives you something, you be like, when will I pay back? Or don't they start giving you gifts, you be like, don't. It affected me in my primary school. I received awards. I didn't stand up to go and take it because I felt like I was not worthy of that. I don't deserve it. Wow. Before my dad would come, so test like best in mass, they will call Deborah Augustine. I won't get up. I will sit down there. I will tell somebody to go and answer. The person will stand up. So it's when it's like the end of year party that my dad now used to come and receive it. He will tell me, he'll be looking for me to stand. I won't stand. It will be later when we're going to take results. I will not take the gifts that they gave best in whatever English, whatever. Because I felt like let me not get up and so I really like this part that I am on now that is putting me out there. People think that this is the Deborah. I'm an introvert, so if I go back there, they cannot. So now we want to take this further now to healing because we talk about traumas and everything. So people think that healing, I used to think that before, that healing is about forgetting about it. But most times for me, it's usually difficult to forget something that has happened to you.
Of course.
I'll take it back now. Let me bring one now. There's something that happened when I was a very small child.
Okay.
When I was very little. When somebody lied that I did something that I was not even around. I lived with that thing, It made me, I hated men, I hated women. For no reason. Like I don't like seeing people around me. Like everybody, sometimes something will just come and people just leave because I was very small. It divided half of the church into two. It scattered the family. Imagine a situation where something happens and everybody in the streets was now looking at me like,
Pointing
and
fingers.
imagine it's even difficult when you're a pastor's daughter, which I am now,
Yeah.
because
Because they expect so
So
much
much
from
from
you.
you, yeah.
so everybody will not be looking at you, and Nami they sing. And which what you want?
Mm.
I was small, oh. I was small, but I was the one leading praises in church. So when you now come to and lead praises, some people in church will be looking at. Some people cut their children out.
Mm.
And the fact that I was not even in the house, I was not feeling fine. You now said I was the one that did stuff to your children. I promised them that if I see them in this life, I'll deal with them. But because now God has helped me, I've healed past that entire thing. I've known better, and I know that I saw this. I said, okay, it was their mom first that met me one day, and she now know that hey, on the road though. She's not like, oh, sorry, that she always apologize. No, oh, but I not do that. Okay, the person that you have apologized to now is dead though. My mom is
Your
gone.
mom.
Like it was her family that was affected most, because as a child, there's how somebody will say you did it out of fear. You go come
You
point,
start
you go
claiming
come point.
you did
Yes, you not claim that you did it. They not ask you who taught you not point. They not do the
My God.
it was a lot. It was earlier this year I met those children. They are now big. I met them in a church. As I see them, I first said, I first said I was looking for block, because that thing just came that no be these children be this. Oh yeah, activate. Then something else was telling me that no. I will that's the past thing. I would not do that again. So I just went to them and said, hello, I now called their name. Do you know they don't know me? They could not remember. They could not
can't
remember
now.
my
They
face.
can't. The person that they
I
offended.
reminded them,
can't.
the primary school you went to, they don't know their primary school. I said, to show you how that thing was, that their mom met me, I was telling me that later she now asked the children, I said it was one boy, that's the biggest boy in our class at that time, that did that stuff to them. Because of fear, he threatened the children, they now pointed me. I was not even in the house.
They felt that they could never join.
Yes, and that boy, they were scared of the boy than me, because I was very small. I already have a very small body, so I was already imagine that kind of small that I would
Yeah.
be. So that entire thing, I lived with it, and it made me to now. It made me do it. It made me do a lot of things that. It made me not to do some kind of things that are normal, like you see, to help people, to trust people. If you like, tell me, sir. It now made me to start fighting other people's battles. Like something will be happening outside now. It made me very sensitive that I feel catch liar before the liar will even lie. Yes, before the person will even lie, I will say you, and I've seen the person. So for such kind, I know there are lots of people that are going through most of these things. For them, for some people, they don't have like people giving them like they don't have people giving them a pat on the back when they achieve a very little thing. Instead, it's like comparison. Your mates are driving keke. There are some parents that you see this phone where they press, now phone they press. There are some parents that if they press one person and your mates, every time your mates. So how do you think such a kind of child should do? Because now you feel if you want to leave that environment, that it's not that you ran away from your parents' house. If you stay inside the situation. So what's the solution now? Because we're trying to round up. What's the solution to this? If you stay, if you have a personal experience that you know how you overcome it, I've shared mine. I overcome that thing by through prayer, because I had to pray for my own heart. Because it took a long while before I forgive those people.
Yeah.
Okay, I now forgive them. Oh yeah, forget. I cannot. Even as I am now, I can't. For the fact that I met those children, I can't forget about it. But I'm forgiving you. If it was that they met me at that time, so
You'd have butchered them.
my dear, my dear. So,
Okay.
so how do we deal with this now? That there are children that sometimes it's this form of validation that they don't get from. That's why we have most young girls running into the hands of all these wrong men, because
Yeah.
they don't receive this. They don't receive these things in their house. It's always comparison. Your mate is this one. You and your brother comparison with the family, and they find that love outside because they don't receive it in the house. So how? Yes, and they will get it in a negative way. So how can we deal with this and bring a solution to it?
Okay. For me, I would
Girl,
say
come on, eyeglass. Nothing that serious matter.
healing is a personal journey.
Yeah.
And you can't do healing on your own. You need someone that is trustworthy enough that you can be able to open up and share this experiences with that can be able to put you on the right path to actually receiving healing. And then I would say you have to identify within yourself that I'm going through this and I actually want to be healed from this. I don't want to be affected again by this. So you identifying the problem is the first step to you healing.
Yeah.
Now you now going through the process of now sharing your experience is another way of you healing. It's not an immediate process. It's little by little. When you have adults now that have definitely gone through a whole lot of traumatic experiences, and it's now that they are grown, they know better. There's something I usually tell myself, that do better because you know better. So once that thought just comes to my mind, even if I want to let me say revenge based on what I've experienced, I'll just say no, I should do better because I know better. So instead of carrying out that negative act, I end up doing a positive act. So in that aspect, now see adults, they go through therapy sessions, try to talk about it with someone that will not judge them, with someone that will not be biased in the conversation. That alone can help the person heal. And when the person consciously tells himself not to be like that person and also sees the pattern, because you can tell yourself that you don't want to be like this person, I don't want to be like my father, I don't want to be like my mother, and in the essence of you trying not to be that person, you end up becoming that person. So even in the process of that healing, you have to look at where you are also little by little picking it up, picking that trait up, just like just like comparison. You're always, I'm talking about it now in a home, between brother and sister. The sister is the most intelligent, the brother is, as a child, you're just being playful, just being stubborn. But the sister is more coordinated, good grades, first, second, third in class. The brother is getting 10th, 11th. That comparison now from the parents, from small, look at your sister, look at your big sister, look at your younger sister. She's the one that is passing, she's the one that is doing this one. That thing is a traumatic experience to that child, to the boy, and unknowingly to him, he can start becoming envious of his sister. Before you know, discord comes in the family, disunity comes in the family. Now that boy can just grow up and hate his sister for no just cause. You understand? So when at a point in his life now he sees that, okay, wait, what did my sister actually do to me? It's just because of my parents saying that my sister knows better than me. And even that your sister said wants your love, wants to even show you, but because of that talk, that voice that has been shoved so many times in your head that your sister is better than you, this one, that one, you will push your sister aside. And in the part that your sister will even need protection, you are not even there as the big brother or as the man figure in her life to even do what? Protect her. So I would just say that healing is a personal journey, and you should actually identify the problem well and just go through that path. Someone that is trustworthy enough, a therapist.
I thank God for the kind of family I come from. This comparison thing, they don't do it there.
It happened, but then I thank God for the kind of, as you become adults, you get to learn and unlearn things. So that is what we even, take off all those kind of time, just to consider that. And then, if my father, let him say this once, my sister, to me, she knows book. Me, I don't know book. Does not make me less of myself.
That's actually very deep. You sound like somebody that's gone through a lot, but let's get this. I've been through a lot. So sorry.
Okay. Adding to what Tammy said, I think parents should actually stop this thing of favoritism amongst children or amongst their kids, wanting to always compare, even amongst your friends, and because you see a child not doing so well, and then the parents would want to compare him with his friend. Can't you see Ejike's son? Can't you see Mr. Danjuma's son? He's doing very well. He's riding Benz. He has a house of his own, and you're nothing to write home about. This, that. You understand? At a very tender age, and then what do you expect that child to do at that particular time? What if the child gets angry and then goes into one thing or the other, or maybe one diabolic thing or the other, and then wants now to use you as a sacrifice?
Sacrifice, exactly.
So I think parents, they should stop this comparison of favoritism among siblings, because it's actually leads to siblings not liking themselves, yes, fighting themselves for no just reason or no just cause and all the rest. And then about what you said for people that cannot leave their environment, what they should do. Most times, even the Bible says it, the violent shall take it by force. Most times, just take the risks, leave. Just take the risks. There is this man of God, he will tell you, take the risks and leave. Like leave. Most times healing cannot come except you leave that environment that hurts you the most.
Yes.
So most times just take the risks. Like it's not gonna be easy, oh.
You see 99.
You will see 100. You will see black and red. Like it's not gonna be easy, but take the risks. Like our people say, "Nyalobi, katobi." Like your mind should be strong. Just take the risks. Yes, very strong. Take the risks. Leave the environment. If it's your family, leave. You don't hate them. No, you don't hate them. You love them, but most especially you love yourself more. Wait, and you find out that when you leave that environment, or maybe you stop talking to those particular set of persons that actually makes you to go back and back to that particular trauma stage or trauma effect, you find out when you leave that environment, you see yourself growing, you see growth, you see yourself healing. And just like what Tammy said, you cannot heal except you identify, you are aware that, oh, this is it. And yes, I'm traumatized. Like, accept it.
Yes.
Accept that, yes, I am traumatized. Like, I am feeling this way. And I want to be better. Aside from this, my dear, if you cannot leave one and jump to three. You cannot say, okay, I'm not traumatized, and then you want accept that you're traumatized. Then start working on it. And then, like you said, healing is a process. It's not a fast. It's not a race.
At all.
Most times you see yourself go back and then you start crying
again.
It happens. It's a phase. Even when you find yourself in that particular stage again, why during your healing process, still pick yourself up, pray, and keep moving.
Yes, our wonderful thoughts from Florence and Tammy. Pick yourself up from the dust, don't remain there forever. And Tammy said, find help outside and leave the environment where you are. You've had beautiful insights from Florence and from Tammy telling you how to heal. It's just a journey. I'm a living testimony of what healing has done to me. It has opened up my heart. I'm still learning, and I have become a better person, not just for ourselves, but for the children and the relationships we would have, because it's actually going to help you. I hope this episode was a very safe space for you. If you have anything that has been going on with you and you want to drop them in the comments or you want to reach us, follow our page, DURA'S Voice Podcast on Instagram, and subscribe to our YouTube channel, DURA'S Voice Podcast on YouTube. We created this safe space and these safe conversations just for you. Until next time, Florence used to say, keep becoming. Bye for now.
Bye.
Bye.